So when I read about it, I saw it. I said it's a ceasefire, SEIZE, ceasing fire, and it's also there's no ceasefire. There can never be ceasefire, you know. So that was all a farce because at the one, if you look at it from one perspective, we had Trump trying to push this initiative just before the nominations of the Nobel Peace Prize, and it is something he really wanted. And then you have the Zionist entity that after 2 years, they couldn't beat the resilience of the Palestinian people. And I'm not referring to Gaza here. I don't like to say Gaza and draw a distinction between Gaza and Palestine. It is still one country. So there's no ceasefire. They're not people who can hold their promise. More than 1,000 countries expel them for the same thing, that they like to break their promises. There's no time to be in good spirits for jubilation and celebrations because they have withdrawn. They haven't withdrawn. They just moved about 2 kilometers outside of the Gaza border. The killings are continuing, and because it's media blackout and people are not aware of the actual suffering, it's continuing as long as they get what they want to. And that is the total extermination of the Palestinian people from Gaza, and then, of course, rebuilding it into prime real estate. And whatever the intentions is, you know, as time goes on, Mahma Tubti Nidrul Ayam, time will expose, Allah will reveal to us the true intent. Many people became, they became extremely happy, and because Palestine will be recognized as a state. But the true agenda of that is, if Palestine is recognized as a state, that means Israel will no longer be recognized as the occupiers. They have a plan. The plan includes from those two stripes on the flag, from the Nile River right up to Saudi Arabia, and then ending by Iran. That is called Greater Israel. So Gaza, it's the only free country in the world. The only people that offer resilience, that's not bowing down to a secular, democratic, not democratic, system or nationalism. As long as they avoid all of those things and they have the true jihadi spirit in them, then they are teaching the rest of the world. I mean, we from South Africa, we fought against an apartheid regime. Real freedom is being able to stand up and still marching on and smiling and sharing and caring after 2 years, despite the fact that you had to scrape your child's remains from the floor. You have to pick up limbs, you have to mix and match, you have to fight for bodies, you have to request bodies from these thieves and robber Zionist entity who's harvesting organs from Sinwar. They don't want to release his body, and that was one of the key aspects of Hamas's request. They wanted his body released. So what are they doing to the body? So psychologically, they're still punishing the people, and physically, they're still punishing the people, and they're still controlling aid. And it's a strategic starvation plan that they have. The whole world is watching in real time how people are being killed and slaughtered. Yes, so sometimes I have a problem with the word genocide. I think that it's also a term that they've coined and people are using that, I think a more appropriate word would be a Holocaust. The same word that they are using for what allegedly happened in Germany during World War II, because Netanyahu even cited in his last speech one of the Nazi generals of those days, about the enemy. So he's quoting his own enemies. So that means a person who has no morals who do something like that. So the Holocaust that has happened in Gaza, and not a genocide, and killing innocent people, killing babies, killing journalists, bombing schools, bombing hospitals, places that are protected by international law. It once again shows there's no international law when you are a carrier of this kalima, when you are a reciter of this kalima, la ilaha illallah, you are excluded and exempted from international law, crimes perpetrated against you, and the application of international law. Yes, South Africa and a few countries went forward. They lodged a complaint, open up criminal cases against these people, which might take years. And knowing how to manipulate the legal system and having their own people on the bench there. So that means they can continue this Holocaust until they are found guilty. And even if they are found guilty, There's no mentioning that they will ever serve jail time. By that time, Netanyahu might be dead. May Allah give him a quick and expedite his demise from this world, and all those co-conspirators. So yes, they want to exterminate. It's extermination. It's racially cleaning or the cleansing of people, same like Hitler did to allegedly did to the Jewish people when he decided that they should be ousted from Europe during World War II. So they forget that part of history. What was done to them, they are doing worse than what they are doing to, if you look at the amount of bombs that was dropped in 2 years, and you compare it, over 100,000 tons or 100,000 bombs were dropped on an open air prison that housed 2.5 million people. It's more than what Hitler and his entire army did during the duration from 1939 in the invasion of Poland until D-Day during the World War II 1945. So yes, I believe that, and I believe the war will continue also.
Some world leaders came together.
I think it's the start of pieces. When they're shattered into pieces. So number one, there's no Middle East, it's the Middle West. Because it's a war zone, it's an entire war zone, and it's part of Greater Israel. These are not world leaders because they were not elected by the people. They are mostly monarchs, self-appointed people, and people that are controlled by the Zionist regime. So it was not the Palestinians' best interest at heart, because his 20 or 21 point peace initiative that he outlined, was completely pro-Israeli. There's nothing in it for the Palestinians. These are all puppeteers, and the puppet masters is America and the Zionist entity Israel. And all these illegitimate Arab states, they don't have the best interest of the Palestinians. And I will prove to you that, because if the people in their own countries adopt the resilience of the Palestinian people, then there'd be no illegitimate so-called Muslim leader that's currently serving in the world today would not remain in power.